A very good morning to everyone. I'm Dr. Venkat Naik. I'm a facilitator for Go Online Trainings. I would like to give today demonstration about an importance and significance of the generative AI in most of the aspects. One of the most sophisticated aspect is business. So generally nowadays many generative AI tools are available. In business aspects, much more better vital role is playing. Let's see, what exactly significantly impact the generative AI for the business. Okay, yeah. Firstly, let me give you an introduction about generative AI. What exactly generative AI? This word is becoming a buzzword nowadays. Let me give you a little clarification what exactly generative AI is. So basically, generative AI is a type of an artificial intelligence that is created, innovatively in order to, create a new content, such as you guys are knows about nowadays. Text summarization is an important aspect. If we give, a large amount of a document for the generative AI tool, which will be summarizes and it will be give you a confined or maybe a brief text which will be much more better for you. In a similar aspect, an images can be generated based on the prompt which you have given to the corresponding generative AI tool. And similarly, multimedia, especially audio and video, that is going to be created based on the input factors or features you have provided as a prompt to the chat GPT kind of a similar generative AI tools. Okay, I hope you understand that exactly what is the purpose of the generative AI. And especially these generative AI tools are especially, essentially which will be learned exactly the patterns, correlations, trends, and relationship that would be existing in a large volume of data. So then it uses a knowledge to generate a novel outputs that resemble to the input data, isn't it? So that's very important. This complete aspect already we are about learned in a machine learning technique, where exactly which will be learn the things from an experience without being explicitly programmed. In a similar aspect, generative AI tools has a lot of machine learning and AI techniques, algorithms are existing by which absolutely the expected output will be given a much more better way in terms of the knowledge gained in a high volume of data. Clear? Yeah. So this technology is rapidly evolving, finding an application across various industries such as banking industry, telecom industry, agriculture industry, e-commerce industry. Absolutely, there will be a lot of numerous applications we have, but majorly we are using some certain kind of applications with generative AI tools. So now I would like to give you a set of applications which are rapidly using in generative AI area in the form of a business. Let me take an example like marketing and as well as advertising. So absolutely we know that nowadays in marketing area, lot of Facebook, LinkedIn, like Instagram, many more marketing applications are rapidly using ChatGPT or maybe generative AI tools inbuilt that might not be visible to a common people, but absolutely it will be a rapidly using generative AI tools. Let me show you like absolutely in marketing and advertisement what exactly generative tools are does. So there will be content creation is going to be created with the help of a generative AI tools. So which will be automate writing blogs, emails, and copy the product descriptions. So generally, whatever the experienced expertise might write a content writings or blogs. Sometimes, the covering letters, whatever the content they are writing, that might not be reachable to the common man. So the such a kind of a content is written by the generative AI tools that would be very summarized, very meaningful without any ambiguity. That's a major area where marketing and advertisement is using generative AI tools. In similar area, social media, as I told, absolutely a lot of social media applications are Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, like there are many more Google ads are generating the engaging the absolutely the captions, hashtags, visuals are much more highly relevant to the poster which we are presenting to the people, which are promoting to the people, that would be written the absolute content for that. For that reason also, social media posts are using generative AI tools in a much more better way. And similarly, absolutely personalized campaigns, like absolutely I can say some kind of pages, like landing pages to be promote a certain products, creating custom marketing messages based on the customer's behavior are going to be changed accordingly, isn't it? So there is a next application where the business is using generative AI tool, is that a customer service. Like earlier you might have seen in a specific product based companies or banking sectors or e-commerce sectors, thousands of the people are working for the as a customer service to be answer the queries posed by the customers. But absolutely such kind of a customer service now replaced and by the unmanned vehicle technology called absolutely chatbot is one of the best technology, which is the application. Absolutely it is using a generative AI tool as background of that particular application in order to serve the millions and trillions of the people at a particular point of time. So you have to be understand that there will be a strong generative AI tools are exist behind this particular customer service. So absolutely chatbots and virtual assistants, they will be answer the lot of frequently asking questions, whatever the errors, whatever the troubleshoot issues are, they are going to be get from the product point of view, that would be answerable from the chatbots very quickly within a nanosecond. Whatever the problem they are seeing, that will be resolve the things also, right? So obviously the email responses and call responses, IVRs, all this particular generation is possible nowadays because of the generative AI tools. Clear? So voice assistants are absolutely everywhere. Nowadays, if you observe carefully, the banking people or product based companies are not dialing from the human being. The call would come from the robotic phone calls, which means that already the algorithm have been trained with respect to the what's supposed to be conveyed to the end customer. The if you fix a particular timestamp such a way that the call automatically call dial to the customer, that the whatever the message is wanted to convey, that there is a within 2 days your car is going to be required go for service, or maybe your AC might not working, filter is damaged, you go for the service. Such kind of all the recommendations are going to be conveyed rather than sending just messages. Nowadays voice assistants are playing an important role. Is it clear? Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead. Some more applications, like as I said, now down the line within 5 years of time, you cannot believe that 90% of the whatever the home appliances or maybe e-commerce applications, whatever the sophisticated business applications are going to become a part of a generative AI tools. So being an end users, you're supposed to be notice that there are generative AI tools are playing a role in that particular aspect. So one of the important third type of application will be a product design and application development. So absolutely, so nowadays, there will be Bolt AI, Cloud, a lot of, generative AI tools I'll be listed out, in what area, what tools are already being used by the, firm point of view as well as customer point of view. So product design and development is nothing but now front-end applications, whatever the web applications are developing nowadays, completely 99% the front-end parties get designed by the generative AI tools without being written a single line of a code. That's called as a point, which is an application area where generative AI tools are using. Let's suppose a design, prototype model, like auto generation of the UI UX, applications, which means what user interface and UX design, such as multimedia kind of an applications or layouts and prototyping models are as per the prompt we have included to be given as an input to the generative AI tool, that will be taken as an input according to the feature. The respective web application will be generated. Absolutely, we can refine it, new version will be generated, we can log the application, we can deploy the application, and we can connect to the backend clouds and as well as the databases, which means that hardly I can say 10 minutes of time is required to make a one particular smart application like a full stack. That's one of the application where generative AI tools are playing an important role. So code generation, you need not to be worry about it. Absolutely, either Java, Python, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, whatever, whatever the programming, whatever the technologies you are using, everything so the generative AI tools are assisting to the developers to generate the code in terms of the snippets and documentation apart from the proper documentation level of an info, and even though testing can be done accordingly. So absolutely, 3D modeling applications also generating so gaming applications, obviously, AR means augmented reality, virtual reality applications and experiments also be made and obviously being used by the generative AI tools, and they are helping to the developer to reduce their particular burden. As you clear? Absolutely. The next kind of an applications are sales and CRM applications. Like there is a CRM application such as Salesforce, which is a customer relationship management applications. So absolutely e-commerce applications and other lot of applications are being used in many industries where we need to be touch with the customer in order to be give the recommendations and absolutely taking an input and feedback from them in order to track the complete customer relationship related info. The CRM, customer relationship management applications, are playing a much more better in this aspect. Absolutely, Oracle has their own product, Salesforce has their own product, and ERP tools we have a lot of product based companies and as well as service based companies. Even Joho, many companies are providing. But in fact, you have to notice that today I am demonstrating what is the impact of generative AI tools in order to improve the business sales and productivity. In that aspect, I am listing out the applications, what is the role of generative AI tools. Clear? Absolutely, the sales of the emails and obviously other the drafting of the personal sales messages are going to be generated by the chat GPTs and similar kind of a text summarization related tools rather than the human being. Absolutely, the lead scoring and as well as engagement, that will be generated, and AI insights for prioritizing the customer leads, because the customers has different types like VIP customers, general customers, semi VIP customers. These tools, CRM tools, are will be able to track them what kind of a customer is doing what is their background to, what kind of a business they are doing with respect to a product is concerned. Clear? So absolutely, the speech to the text nodes. So absolutely, there's generative AI tools. Similarly, if I talk something right, automatically the AI tools are converting into the text. That will be, there will be, the tool is called as a notebook LM. It is provided by the Google. It is one of the important generative AI tools, where if I upload the video to the notebook LM such a way that it automatically on equivalent a text will be summarized in order to convey to the end user. Clear? So it automatically does. You need not to be involved into it. Human intervention is completely avoided. That is a specialty of the generative AI tools. Right. And similar kind of an application such as finance and accounting. Absolutely, banking sector, like non-banking sectors, where the finance, wherever the accounting is happening, there the generative AI tools are playing a much more better decision making. So where proactively, optimistically, the decisions will be provided in a further decision making, not to see any kind of a risks, I can say. So if you see a report generation, like auto creation of financial summaries and monthly reports are generating with the help of generative AI tools. So the invoice generation is very important. Human need not to be intervention as part of the process flow. Just like as soon as the transaction is done, absolutely automated billing and invoices task is done. The mail is automatically sent to the respective customer. That's the how automation is taking place, right? Absolutely, the fraud detection is happening. Absolutely, it is generating the alerts and reports based on the anomaly detection is happening with a specific customers. Sometimes some threats would happen. Somebody's accounts are going to be hacked. Somebody's credit cards are going to be used unauthorized people. Such kind of abnormal or any kind of anomalies are detected. That would be possible by the generative AI tools automatically detected. Absolutely, it will be throws a certain messages to the end customer such a way that it will be helpful, right? So human resources, absolutely HR, I can say. So human resources are playing a much more better role in every large organizations. Absolutely, recently you might have known an IBM computers absolutely replaced agentic AI products in the place of the human resources, right? So absolutely the resume screening. So it will be done by the auto summarization, and as well as resumes are going to be filtered and downloaded. So you need not to be search thousands of the resumes by the human resource. If you give the exact required prompt desired skill set such a way that automatically the resume screening is done and it will be relevant and desired resumes getting downloaded. Absolutely right. So job description, so instantaneously it generates and tailor the job post according to your requirement. Clear. On interview assistants, earlier, there will be a lot of obstacles used to face. What sort of questions might be asked at a technical round, at a HR round. Nowadays, if you just search for the desired company, if you are likely to visit the interview today, you just ask the certain queries, what sort of companies are likely to be asked by the Google, likely to ask by the IBM, likely to ask by the Capgemini, based on your skill set. That gives you very frequently asking questions based on your experience, based on your exposure skill set. So if you just try to be properly understand them, probably such kind of questions very frequently asked by the interviewers. This is how the chat gpt and generative AI tools are assisting you. In similar aspect, legal and compliances are going to be one of the area where exactly nowadays generative AI tools are helping them in order to reduce their actual burden. So which is legal and compliances, I can say. So absolutely a contract drafting, so let's, if you look at lawyers, or maybe, some people, computer operators are going to draft the legal documents. Sometimes with a small one ambiguous words, a lot of consequences are likely to happen. So absolutely this particular generative AI tools, which will be generates the templates or maybe complete legal agreements. Probably 99% they are going to be generated. Just is supposed to give an input for the template, just names, addresses, parties, both the candidates names should be, and certain keywords are likely to be changed. Otherwise the 90% of the absolutely the template is getting generated. That is the the assist is providing by the generative AI tools. So compliance is a checklist. Whenever we go with this legal areas, certain compliances we have to be make available for that, with which the laws are going to be changed accordingly. So auto generate list based on the regional laws, isn't it? That would be the best help, which will be helping to the lawyers too. Nowadays, lawyers also committing mistake without knowing certain laws. So that kind of a problems is helping by the generative AI tools in order to provide an accurate info, not to be commit with a silly mistakes. Clear. So absolutely policy summarization, which will be summarized by the generative AI tools. A lengthy regulations will be make it as a summarization, which is a faster understanding to the other people or other party too. Right? Yes, absolutely. Then go with the another applications such as an e-commerce and retail applications. Nowadays you guys are looking at Flipkart, Amazon, like Snapdeal, Meesho, a lot of applications, worldwide applications we have. So how this particular generative AI tools are helping us in order to be improve the productivity, sales and demands accordingly. So product description and reviews, absolutely it automatically generates and improves the product kind of reviews based on the generative AI tools, which will be get the made available for the common users such a way that so the people would understand based on a rating, and then they will be go whether to buy or not. So virtual tray, absolutely it uses the generative AI in order to simulate the products on the customers. And virtual search it generates these similar kind of a product images, and based on the customer queries. Let's suppose if you are searching for a Mac related products, whatever the similar kind of products are made available, that would be generative AI tools are giving a similar kind of a product based on the clustering and based on the similarity of the patterns the end user is looking at. And similarly in media and entertainment, which will be if you're looking at movies, absolutely there will be multimedia, there will be entertainment related area where a lot of use cases are there where generative AI tools are using them. So video, image generation, absolutely. And script writing is does by the generative AI tools, which is story ideas, dialogues, and descriptions, very meaningful manner that will be give you rather than ambiguous a large story, I can say. Clear? So music composition is, the permutations and combinations are going to be provided by the, generative AI tools and robotic process automation with the help of algorithms. Human doesn't have those capabilities to be provided music compositions. That will be done by the, generative AI tools. And lastly but not least, absolutely, education and training areas, absolutely, lesson plan generation is going to be created by the generative AI tools, and AI tutors such as deliver the personalized explanation and answer questions automatically based on your query. And simulations create a virtual environment for hands-on learning too. That's applications related to. Now let me give a brief idea how exactly a generative AI works. Absolutely, it will be tool learns from a lot of information, because if the algorithm doesn't have a sufficient historical data, absolutely the answers might not be predicted properly, which means that here the volume of a data, the velocity of a data, variety of a data will be a generative AI algorithms like LLM models will be trained with sophisticated data with which obviously it will be learned from a lot of information, and it will be finds the patterns, trends, and correlation from that huge amount of data automatically by the generative AI algorithms such as a supervised and supervised and absolutely deep learning and NLP algorithms, I can say. Right? It will be create a new content based on what it learned historically. So that's the reason I told you, if there is no sufficient data trained by the algorithm, absolutely the outcome of an algorithm, outcome of the prediction might not be accurate. Sometimes it doesn't acceptable. And the generative AI tools will improve the getting the feedback and proactively and optimistically. Clear? This is how these are the four important steps will be followed by the generative AI in background LLM models, and as open AI is going to be have these particular things which is not visible for you. If we learn completely generative AI tools including AI, ML and data science concepts, absolutely one fine day you will be able to understand what exactly the Gen AI works. And let me show you now what tools are using. This is the very important nowadays. Many people are hardly OpenAI tools, ChatGPT, OpenAI, probably Copilot, GitHub, such kind of tools. There will be domain-based tools we have. Please kindly focus properly what tools are relevant and already being used in certain areas. Let me take a text generation area like text summarization. One of the most sophisticated tool which is a ChatGPT, like DeepSeek, which is provided by OpenAI, Clad, Anthropic is the company which is providing a Clad. It's similar like a ChatGPT. Absolutely, Gemini, which is provided by the Google, and Jasper, which is an AI tool, and copywriting, which is a copy.ai, is another which is a Gen AI tool which will be provide you the summarized text generation if you give a large volume of a text. Comes to the image creation, where DAL-E is an OpenAI tool. If you give the image, if you give the features of an image, it automatically create better sophisticated image with respect to your content. So right, Mid-Journey is the another tool where it will be useful image generation and image creation by the AI, isn't it? Absolutely Stable Diffusion is another tool which is used for the image creation. And Adobe Firefly will be one of the tool, which is Adobe is the company which is provide a lot of tools for us. One of the tool which is used for the image creation too. And Canva AI is also provided. Everybody is much more familiar with the Canva AI. Comes to the video creation, the tools are Sara, which is provided by OpenAI, and absolutely Runway ML, Pika Labs, synthesis, avatar based video creation is possible by this particular tool. And Lumen 5 will be one of the tool which is to be created for the video generation too. Absolutely, the code generation most of the developers nowadays using. So rather than writing the large amount of a code, they will be taking an assistant to be generate the code based on the valid prompt, such as the tool will be GitHub Copilot. Absolutely, it will be much more helpful. There will be open source available. There will be absolutely licenses also. And Amazon Code Whisperer is one of the tool which is to be used for code generation, and Tab 9 and Codium. These are the tools. Let's go with the other kind of a tools: audio and image generation and music generation, such as AIVA is a music composition will be used. Absolutely, Boomi, Soundra, and 11 Labs is a very famous tool which is for the audio and music generation in most of the Descript. And data analytics, where ChatGPT, WGPT, and Power BI Copilot, obviously Telia's NL data exploration is one of the tool which is belonging to the generative AI tools. And comes to the science and research purpose, there will be specific platforms provided. Elicit AI research assistant, and Skyspace, and autumn wise, where absolutely if you go with a multi-model tools, text to image, there will be text, image, video will be combinedly we together will be generate a particular tools, where such will be GPT 4.0 will be the tool which will be generative AI tool. Absolutely, that the chart GPT 4 will be the licensed one we supposed to take, and Gemini 1.5, and Claude 3 Opus. And absolutely, Perplexity AI is one of the most sophisticated tool nowadays. It's becoming very popular, and absolutely these are the tool much more useful in order to perform a certain task in a different area, I can say. So almost I have explained to you 8 categories of the Gen AI tools, each category based. Now, if you use the Gen AI tools, these are the benefits are going to be provided for a firm point of view, as well as end user point of view, or maybe an enterprise level point of view. Absolutely, if you use the Gen AI tools, it will be save the time and as well as the effort of the person. Absolutely, it will be make creation of the work in an innovative way rather than the routine way. Enhance the productivity and speed of the tasks, with which there will be a cost will be reduced, right? So cost saving is a very important nowadays. Time and cost able to save, the clients or end users are very happy. These are the important expected benefits, and absolutely eventually provided by Gen AI tools. I think in fact that. So similarly, it will be improved the personalization, where the question and answers recommendations very rapidly personalized according to the end users perspective. And automation of the complex tasks will be done by the generative AI tools. One of the important tasks, you might the HR task completely automated now, with which I think 40% of the HRs have been removed, replaced by the Gen AI agentic AI tools. In fact, I can say you need not to worry with the replacement of the routine job holders. In fact, everybody should have a minimum knowledge whatever the innovative tools are introducing, which will be improves your skill set. That would be eventually sustainability would be there for a company level, right? Absolutely, the better decision making is taking by the end user point of view as well as firm point of view, and enhanced customer experience will be there. Absolutely, here if he rapidly uses the Gen AI tools, these are the challenges are likely to be faced by the developers as well as by the common user. Obviously, as the huge volume of data getting increased, the privacy and security is related risk, or maybe it could be an issue that is supposed to be accept. You have to follow the ethical practices such a way that the AI generated tools does not provide you any kind of harmful things for you. In fact, it will be save your time as well as it will be save your money too. So only thing is integrity constraints, which means the privacy and security being every human being should follow. Absolutely, the bias and fairness would be there in the large amount of data getting generated. So sometimes hackers are always you trying to threat a data. In fact, lot of enterprise level scientists, research level background people are trying to hard in order to reduce and filtering the pre-processing of the data, with which the bias is going to be negligible. 100%, 99%, while the pre-processing, whatever the data wrangling task it does on the data, it will be getting eliminated. But due to natural calamity, sometimes 1% of the bias might happen. We have to accept it, because today rain is going to come or not is a prediction related decision. Sometimes might not come, sometime come, which means 1% might be failure even AI generative algorithms. It does not mean 99% it is proactively giving a better decision. So authenticity and trust should be there, because a lot of electronic devices, virtual communication, cloud computation, without tangible devices, a lot of communication is taking place where the authenticity and authorization, trust related issues are happening because of AI generated tools or AI products. Still, you supposed to believe the digitalization related and analog related communication such a way that one fine day, we are going to be a safe, because nowadays cameras are providing a better reliability rather than the human being. I think that would be the example where the task can be done by the AI tools will be better than the normal human being. So, obviously regulatory compliances we have to be accept, because ethically we supposed to follow certain rules such a way that generative AI tools never be harm for the human or maybe enterprise level. They would be in fact helping us. So probably I have given a much more better insights related to generative AI tools. I think thank you so much to everyone who are listening my demonstration. Thank you so much, my dear audience. Let us go with the subsequent other topics. Thank you so much.